If there is one thing that men these days are guilty of, it is being weak. Men are often guilty of putting other people first before themselves. There's an element of unselfishness to it. You don't want to ruffle any feathers. Don't want to start an argument. So it's just easier to avoid the conflict, avoid any type of disapproval, and instead you choose to just go along with whatever the person that you are too scared to confront. Just go along with whatever they want, because it is much easier that way, isn't it? You would much rather let yourself down compared to letting them down. This has led to men feeling weaker than they have ever been. There is no challenge. There is no reason for them to step up into their masculinity and become a man that is truly worth respect. He himself has to find the internal respect first, and then others will fall into line. I was always guilty of being what they call a nice guy. There is nothing wrong with being kind and genuine, friendly. There's nothing wrong with that. However, if you prove to people that you do not have a spine, that you are conflict avoidant, as a man, people will pick up on that. And you don't need me to tell you how things are currently going in society. Kindness and niceness is quite often mistaken for weakness. It is on you to try to find that perfect balance between kindness and authority, aggression. Find that balance. Ideally, you'd like to have the ability to tap into both ends of the spectrum, because in certain situations you'll need to be kind. and genuine. And in other situations, you are going to have to be prepared to stamp your ground, show some authority, stand up for yourself. On semen retention, when you start to transmute your God-given power instead of just releasing it, once you prove to yourself that you can handle this energy that is building rapidly inside of you, you are no longer going to be accused of being a nice guy. No. If anything, you'll be accused of being disagreeable, perhaps an asshole. But that is not your intention to be like that. That is you being so sure of yourself that you are going to just be honest. You are going to just tell it how it is. It doesn't matter who it is that you're talking to. You are not scared of ruffling anyone's feathers because you know deep down inside that your internal power is at a high level. It is. And that is something to be grateful for. And that is something to not abuse as well. No more Mr. Nice Guy. If you have an issue, speak out. Tell the person. Confront them. Now, this is something I struggled with a lot when I was younger. I didn't have the ability to actually speak my mind, but now I do. And now I don't hold back anymore. I don't. And sometimes it has gotten me into trouble, right? It's just how it goes. But at the end of the day, as long as you are being true to who you are, it is something that you are able to live with. No more walking around with your head down, too scared to look at people in their eyes. No more of that. Once you prove to yourself that you are disciplined and you can handle difficult tasks, your confidence is naturally just going to increase. And people will be able to sense that in you. It isn't something that you have to advertise. No, it's actually better if you do not advertise it and just let your presence and also demeanor do all of the talking for you. You don't need to say a damn word half the time. There have been times where I've literally had interactions with people where all I've done is just look at them in their eyes and acknowledge them. I have not said a damn thing, and it has been received very, very well. It's like I didn't say anything, but they can feel my presence. Like my presence was communicating to them that I am here and I am paying attention. I didn't have to try to fill in the gaps and try to talk my head off. I didn't have to do that. All I had to do was just be still, be silent, and be present. And that is very powerful. It'll make people think that there is something about you. They don't know what it is, but it intrigues them. Your level of indifference, it'll be quite fascinating. It will. You will, in usual circumstances where people expect you to come to them or to apologize to them or to seek out their approval, that is what they are expecting you to do. But that is something that isn't in your it's just not something that you do anymore, because you don't feel like there is any need for it. No more approval seeking. Approval seeking, by default, is communicating to people that you view yourself down here and you view them up here. It's just what you are communicating when you are doing that. And if you are sexually disciplined, and if you are full of life, that is something that does not even cross your mind, because you actually view yourself up here. Because in your mind, you have proven to yourself that is the case. Because if it wasn't the case, then it wouldn't be possible for you to do and also succeed in a practice like semen retention. Not many people can do it. Not many people would even know where to start, because it's just too much of a jump in terms of their baseline, where they are, how they think, their view on reality itself. So if you are someone that has been accused of being too nice or too weak, a pushover, if that is you, the only way to snap out of that for good is to retain your sexual energy. It is. You will be shocked by how much you actually transform yourself. instead of being nice to people, you would rather be honest with people. Because being nice to you, you feel like that is being fake. And you do not want to be fake. Being fake is something that makes you sick. You would much rather be honest and possibly offend people in order to try to help them improve. You would much rather that compared to being soft and basically whispering sweet nothings in their ear to try to make them feel good. As a man, it is on you to be tough, to be stern, to speak with authority. And all of this stuff you will struggle to do if you are not retaining. However, if you are retaining, all of that stuff that I just mentioned, it will come naturally to you. It'll just exude out of you and it will become your new way of being. And it will take some people some time to adjust to how you are now. Because perhaps in their mind, they're thinking, 5 years ago, he was a pushover. I could have gotten away with this and that with him. I could have manipulated him into doing this for me. But now he just is not buying it. And people don't like that because it is challenging them on a very high level. If there is one benefit from SR that will actually fulfill you, it is this. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Now, this does not mean that you are going to turn into a jerk, into an asshole. No, that is not it. However, what you will realize is that people will think that you are a jerk and an asshole just by default because they are so unsure of your energy. However, you are then able to balance out that false view on you through your actions, through being kind and being your genuine self, if that is what you are. And this will balance things out so that in people's mind, they think, okay, he's tough. I can't get away with shit with him. However, he also speaks really, really well to me, and he's really, really nice. It kind of confuses me. However, I guess I like it because he's treating me well. However, he's not a pushover. And honestly, I don't think many people actually respect a man that is a pushover and is agreeable all of the time. As a man, you have got to have a backbone. You have got to have balls, as they say. And the only way to actually get true balls is to retain your sexual energy. It's as simple as that. Done.